live stream where we're going to be answering questions and just kind of talking about whatever happens in the world of technology. And we're also going to be answering a lot of questions surrounding the TCL 8 series, having a live debate, if you will, for those who are interested in that type of thing. So I'll just be waiting for everybody to come into the stream here and just kind of running around Sword Art Online, just kind of doing my thing. Now I'm going to try to find my objective here and then get started with some more gameplay. Alright, now we're teleporting to our little area here. Tell you what, man, the visuals on this game look absolutely incredible. And I see we now have 2 people watching, so welcome to those individuals who are watching now. If you guys have any questions, make sure you ask in the comment section down below. I'll be sure to answer them for you guys. And what's going on, Timothy1? You said, how's it going? Or you said, hey bro, what's good? Nothing much, man. Just chilling on some Sword Art Online, hanging out. We're gonna have ourselves a live debate. What's going on, Darius Smith? What's going on, Drifter? How you guys doing this fine evening? I hope everyone's doing all right. So what'd you all think about the TCL 8 series? I mean, I know you guys heard my take on it, but what do you guys think about it? You think it's a good television? You think it's going to be worth the money or not really? What's going on, Zoom Boon 714? What's going on? What's going on, Timothy1? You said, are you completely against Samsung from now? You said the completely against Samsung now from the video you made. I'm not against Samsung. Truthfully, I'm not against any brand. It's just Samsung is now in the same boat with Sony, where that I know I have to watch them because this isn't the first time that they've messed up one of my televisions with a crappy patch. And so I just know to kind of be careful with that kind of thing. So that's really all it is. And it's more so just kind of like warning you guys, like, hey, look out, because they're gonna screw you if you keep updating these TVs. They're not fair about it, is what it is. They just kind of randomly do it, and a lot of people are having more issues as time goes on. Well, this is a random little island here. I can imagine this would be a quest or something. So, oh my, this guy's aggressive, isn't he? Where'd he go? How many of you guys out there like Sword Art Online? That's also a good question for me to ask. I'm going to be answering you guys' questions in a moment here. I just want to give everyone a chance to kind of come into the stream here before we go in full swing, because I know there'll be like 3 or 4 people that probably missed what we were talking about. Alright, let's go. Got him. We're going to get this guy here. I really love this game. This is incredible attention to detail. So cool. Alright, let's get to answering some questions now. Let's see, we've got, we've got Luris, what's happening? I hope I said your name right. The real question is, what improvements did they make to the 6 series? Yeah, that's a good question, considering most people will probably just end up buying the 6 series. What's going on, Darius? You said, not expecting much from TCL. Yeah, I kind of get that same impression. I think for me it was more so like, I'm not expecting a lot from TCL in the sense that they kind of already set themselves up to fail with the way that they've went about their marketing. They've ripped off Samsung's design. Already that kind of let me know that there's no real effort being put into their own product. And I mean, yeah, you have thousands of local dimming zones, of course, but there's more to TVs than just good black levels. And I hope they learn from like a lot of the other stuff. Like, I really hope that they've put effort into making sure they optimize the local dimming zone so you don't have any abrupt changes that look awkward or weird. You can't see each individual local dimming zone. And I also hope they've fixed their motion problems, because currently they're one of the worst TVs I've ever seen for motion with their 6 series. So I really hope they get that wrapped up. That'd be really nice if they could get that taken care of for sure. Well, what else is going on with the community so far? We've got Enoch, welcome, and thank you for being a member of the fine channel we have here. You said, have you had a chance to review the Hisense? Big shout out to David S. Class. You said, hey Quantum, hope you're feeling better, take care, and thanks for all your service to the community. I really appreciate that, and for you donating $5 to help the community stay afloat. I really do appreciate it, man. Have I reviewed the H8E? I'm not sure. I don't think I have reviewed the H8E. I think that's the 2018 or 2017 model. I can't really remember. I know I did the H8F and a buyer's guide, but not the H8E. What's going on, Timothy? You said, so we keep the Samsung TV offline, it would be fine then? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, all these new TVs nowadays are kind of being treated really badly, in that for the first couple of, what do you say, months or two, they'll do really, really good at being fair about giving you good patches. And then after all the professional reviews are given and they've got what they wanted, they go right in there and jack up these TVs. And it's happening more and more as time goes on. So I would be careful. Definitely keep your TVs offline. Zoom Boon, what's going on? You said looks good, can't wait for TCL 8 series. Yeah, I mean, I could see like why it could be exciting, but like, why are people excited is my question. Like, I know that it has good black levels, but we have that now on the market. The Q9FN, the Q8FN, the Vizio P series Quantum, Hisense H8F even has good black levels, not perfect. I mean, there are TVs with good inky deep black levels, and I don't really know that $19.99, that's $2,000 all day every day, you know what I mean, is worth it, right? Like, fundamentally worth it. When, I mean, really, you could buy a Q9FN. Hell, you could buy a Sony OLED right now, a Sony A8F. You can buy that and get the best black levels possible, right? If that's what you really care about. So I don't know that shelling out $2,000 is really the right approach, especially for TCL. That's just kind of my thing. Big shout out to Darius. You said A, and then you did $2.99. I appreciate you for helping out the community as well. So major shout out to David S. Class and Darius Smith. You guys looking out for the community. I really appreciate it, man. We've got, I'm trying to read here. You said, Darius Smith, you said, what TV are you using today, mate? I'm using the Hisense H9F. Yeah, I said that right. H9F, yeah. I get mixed up with models a lot. But yeah, that's what I'm using right now today. I've went back and forth between so many different TVs today, actually, but I'm actually right now using the H9F. So that's what I'm playing this whole live stream on and Sword Art Online. And I'm going to just run around the world and just kind of have a blast in a second here. We've got Drifter. You said just order the H9F. I'm going to try what you said and not update the TV. Yeah, that's a good idea. All you got to do, like, when you get it, because for those that don't know, I forgot to tell you guys, like, I'm so forgetful, like, really, I'm really forgetful. So with the, see, I already want to say Samsung because I'm so used to my Q8FM. With the H9F, two things. One, I have new settings that I'm using for those who have really bad uniformity. I've been really working on that. And for those who also want to know, I did put in for a replacement for my H9F. So I'll be replacing it with a new unit to see if uniformity issues are normal or if it's something that's just normal to my panel. And also because I don't want the audio bug that was the result of the latest patch. So that's something to think about as well. All right, so we've got more questions coming in. We've got Worker 0151. You said it's overpriced for what it is. Yeah, I agree. I think the TCL has potential, no doubt, right? I think it could do a lot right, but like ultimately, it kind of falls short because it's like I feel like they're just trying to capitalize on buzzwords, right? Like, you know, HDR, Dolby Vision. I mean, like if you watch their trailer and their commercial, it was all about like you know, the buzzwords, but they weren't really telling you how bright, how many nits. I mean, those are important questions, and they also didn't mention anything about motion, like, at all. Like, they don't tell you if it's 120 hertz native or if it's 60 hertz, like they did with the TCL R617. Like, I just don't know a whole lot about the marketing strategy they went with there. Of course, I mean, things will change within the next couple of months. I would highly doubt that they would be dumb enough to launch a $2,000 TV and make it only 60 hertz. But also, I would like to know what kind of motion technology, because if it's like, let's say, a motion interpolation technology that also has, like, let's say, you know, 240 hertz, like what Samsung does, it's not really going to be that much of a benefit. Also, if they go too high, though, like what Vizio tries to do and what Sony tries to do, where it's like 960, obviously you're not getting that. That's going to introduce a lot of motion interpolation artifacts if you're not, like, really big into the whole, like, you know, soap opera artifact thing. So, I don't know. You got to be really careful, and you have to have a good processor, too, and I don't know that TCL is developing a good processor. I don't know. It's for what it is pretty expensive, and that's kind of like what I kind of agree on with a lot of you guys. We're gonna retreat and go into the air. Alright, so we've got a question coming in from, let's see. Give me a second here. Drifter says, as for the TCL, I also don't like the stand for it. I hear you there. What's going on, Jackknife? We've got Triforce. You said they're gonna have to come down on the price of for the 8 series. I remember getting this game for like $5 through PSN flash sale. Damn, lucky. I actually just bought it like 2 weeks ago because I never really got into it. So I just actually recently purchased this game, and I paid like what, like $20 after tax, like $21 after tax. I don't really care because I like physical copies, so it's totally cool. But $5, yeah, that's a damn good deal. What's going on, Rob B? You said Samsung TVs are falling off right now. Yeah, I think like Samsung has some soul searching to do for sure. I feel like they're doing too much of like the gimmicky stuff and not enough of like the key stuff. I feel like if they went back to like what they did in 2016, how they were like actually trying, they were like, okay, we're gonna give you kick-ass quantum dots, we're gonna give you an HDR effect mode that lets you turn SDR to HDR. We're gonna go all out. I don't know how many of you guys saw my my latest video, but I actually compared the H9F to the Q90R, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the Q90R got destroyed. Like, if you pause that video and you look, like, the Hisense is not only sharper, surprisingly, but the colors are just ridiculous. The detail, all of that, like, the Q90R got destroyed. Like, so in my initial live reaction where I was saying, like, the Q90R was gonna get destroyed and it was like, you know, the H9F is better, it definitely is better. Like, definitively I can say that, like, having now seen it, compared it. Dude, just no. I don't know why Samsung even charged $3 grand when it first came out. Actually, more than that. It was like $349. It's like $3,499. It was a really expensive thing, the Q90R. And they didn't even like do better than a budget TV for $963 I paid after taxes. So, I mean, really, at this point. Got like spam numbers calling. Who hates spam numbers? I'm pretty sure we all hate spam numbers. Alright, so let's see, we've got more questions coming in. We've got Donnie, what's happening, man? You said I think they'll do good. I mean, like, in what aspect do you think they'll do good? Ron says I used to love Samsung TVs. Yeah, same here. I used to really love Samsung TVs a lot. But I mean, like, that, call me a dinosaur, but I used to like their older TVs, like from 2013, when they had the kind of like the picture on glass type thing, and then they were still doing like their logo luminance thing, and like those TVs were like chromed out. Like, I really like those TVs. They did a really good job. Now it just kind of seems like they're just pumping out anything to pump out anything, and I don't know that that's really the right approach. What's going on, Ricardo? What's going on? You said $2,000 for a brand like TCL, Hisense, or Vizio is too much. I mean, they're not doing a very good job on the budget line, but that much to jump to the premium world. Yeah, they're not doing that great to jump into these premium prices. I totally agree. Now, the funny thing is, if a brand like Hisense wanted to charge $2,000, it wouldn't actually be out of character. For you guys out there that don't know, Hisense is actually Sharp. I didn't know that. I only actually figured that out after calling customer service, because I was like trying to see about getting it replaced because Amazon didn't have any more. And I was like, and they delisted it from the website, and I was like, well, crap, how am I going to get it? And then I looked back again, and then they finally got some in stock, so I actually was able to get a replacement unit. So that's really good for me. But in calling Hisense, I actually figured out that they actually acquired Sharp. I did some research on it, and yeah, it's a legit thing. Like, Hisense has been making Sharp TVs for years. So that's a brand we all know already, but like a brand like Vizio, yeah, Hisense, yeah. I mean, those Hisense, Vizio, TCL, they're synonymously budget brands, but I did not know that Hisense actually had some weight behind his name. I didn't know that, like, at all. But it's good to know now. I mean, because, like, now I told my wife, and she was like, well, you know, I feel a little better. Not gonna lie, it's not that much of a dinger on the pride, you know, because she didn't really like that we had a Hisense TV. And I don't blame her, because, like, you know, we're high-end snobs. Like, we are that bracket, like, of person that, like, yeah, they tell you about, like, that they don't compromise when it comes to TV performance. Yeah, we're those people. So I definitely get where people are coming from. Shout out to Carlos Nior. I'm gonna mess your last name up. I apologize. Carlos Nioriga. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. You said, I know this is not TCL related. You said, I know you have the Q8F and H9F. In your opinion, does the H9F with more dimming zones handle blooming better? No. Unfortunately, because of the way that it transitions out, like when you have logos, like let's say you're watching a station channel, right? And like let's say you're watching Lifetime or, you know, HBO or something like that. You're going to have a situation where the logos transition slowly. Same thing happens in video games when you have loading icons. They transition slowly, so you run into occasional blooming as it blooms out. The local dimming starts kicking on, but you can, for a few seconds, see a little bit of blooming, and it can be distracting and annoying. In general, it's good with black levels, and it is able to produce deeper blacks than the Q8FN, but, you know, it's in real content, like normal content, like watching movies, like if you're just watching straight-up movies, the Hisense does a better job with normal content than the Q8FN, for sure, because more local dimming zones. I could show you guys how the official zone count of the Samsung and how to find them on all Samsung TVs. That's a video for another time. I'll show you guys how to get that information. Just remind me if I forget, but essentially, yeah, no. I mean, not to say that the Samsung does bad, though, because Samsung does better with logos because it dims everything down really, really low. So you don't have as much of issue with those kinds of dark texts on, you know, or white text on dark backgrounds. So hopefully that answered your question. We've got a question coming in from Donnie. You said the 2019 6 Series QLED I would think would be a great buy. Yeah, I mean, but they have some problems as well, though, when it comes to maintaining their, I guess, uniformity at night. Simply because they did away with their local dimming. So I don't really know why they downgraded the 6 Series QLEDs this year. Samsung really just kind of forcing you into buying the most flagship TV they have. Now, I read somewhere today that Samsung closed some of their LED shops and LCD, I guess, manufacturing plants. And people are taking it as though they're going towards OLED. All I'll say is this: if Samsung goes OLED, it'll likely be RGB OLED, and I think that's going to really change the game because it's going to force out companies like Sony and LG. Because let's be real, when Samsung produced their RGB OLED back in like 2012, that thing was a monster, and still to this day, its picture quality is impeccable. I mean, and that's one of those things that makes you really look at how bad WRGB panels are. I mean, I say it all the time, and I had like this one guy that was like steady trolling the channel, and he was like, "There's no way that, you know, OLED is being beaten by a Hisense." And all I can say to that is, seeing is believing. You gotta buy these TVs and sit them side by side. There's a reason why I returned my OLED after a month, over a month of usage. I mean, I legit talked to Amazon, and I was willing to take a price cut. Like, they actually hit me with a restocking fee and everything. And I was willing to do that than to keep the OLED. And that was because of how poorly the OLED did with color. Mainly color. The black levels were perfect. Don't hear me wrong and think that I'm saying like the Hisense has better black levels, because it most certainly does not. But it was one of those things where it was like, I don't play with my color. Color is what I like. And when that did worse, I was like, nah, it's going back. I can't have that. That's embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, what was at one point a $2,000+ you know, high-end OLED getting beaten to that degree by an entry-level TV, so to speak, entry-level, because it's definitely not. That's just embarrassing. So yeah, I couldn't deal. What's going on with Zelda? What you said, hey, do you think the HDMI ports are going anywhere like composite and component where were made obsolete? Do I think, like, what do you mean? Like, do I think they're going away, or like, because I don't think they're gonna go anywhere. I think they're gonna just remain relevant for sure. And Ron B says, Hisense next year will have the Ultra LED 4K panel, another 4K pixel panel, back of the first screen, back of the first screen to use the local dimming zones like Hisense is doing. I mean, I don't doubt that they're gonna their new what is it called? I forget. It's the ULED XD. I don't doubt that that's going to be fantastic, but again, a similar thing is going to happen. Most people with over $2,000 to spend, not looking at Hisense, Vizio, or TCL. No matter how good those specs are on paper, people at a certain income bracket will scoff at that. I mean, I'm just telling you from experience, like when I go over these people's houses and they've got a Rolls Royce in the garage type deal, you know what I'm saying? Like, those kinds of people are not looking at a Hisense, ever. Like, it's just, they haven't established their name. And I feel like these budget companies need to start working harder to build a good name for themselves in the mid-range field first, before they jump off and say, hey, my budget TV is now going to be $2,000. That's I mean, most people haven't even heard of these companies, you know what I mean? Like, especially in the high-end market. Because, like, let's be real, most of us watching this live stream, and a part of this live stream right now, are probably some form of, you know, enthusiasts when it comes to the AV space. We like what we see with picture quality or video files, but the average person, you know, not really feeling that. They're living their lives, and I just don't see that $2,000 price tag. That's a ridiculous, absorbent amount of money. That it's going to be a hard sell. It's going to be a hard sell. It really is going to be a hard sell. So I wonder how they're going to pull it off. It'll be very interesting to figure that out for sure. We've got Ron B. You said, hello Q, great job, I appreciate it. We've got Paul DeSantis. You said the H9F is pretty tough to find, though, limited at Best Buy, not on Amazon or eBay. They recently reposted it to Amazon, so give it a look. I'm not sure about Best Buy, though. I don't shop there anymore. We've got Drifter. You said the H9F just became available here. You're in Massachusetts. We've got Timothy 1. You said, did you check out NXT TakeOver? That show was amazing. So many great wrestling matches. I actually didn't get a chance to check it out. I've been busy, like really, really busy lately, so I actually haven't had a chance to do much lately. We've got Donnie. You said, I saw 3 in stock on Amazon yesterday. Before it was 13 sold out. Then they got more in when yeah, but then they went up. Yeah, they went up to $1,003. And I don't know why Amazon's like taking advantage of like how scarce the quantity is of the Hisense to such an absorbent level too. They're like, oh, by the way, we're gonna charge you $1,003. I'm like, what is that even? So disrespectful and shisty. But that's just Amazon for you. That's how they make their millions and billions. So whatever. You said you're in Missouri. My bad. I'm not very good with states, so I appreciate the correction here. Master 1690 or 007, you said, so the NU 8000 55-inch or RU 55-inch, I want to buy my first 4K TV for PS4. Honestly, dude, neither one. It's 2019. Edgelit needs to die, my friend. You're not going to have quantum dots in either of those TVs. You're not going to have full array local dimming in either of those TVs. And honestly, that's not a benefit anymore. Like, time's out for buying an Edgelit, because you definitively now, especially with that new TCL, can get TVs that are actually worth your time and not have to spend an arm, a leg, and everything else in between. So really, man, you really shouldn't have to worry that much about it. And I really wouldn't pay top dollar. I wouldn't, to be very honest with you, especially for those TVs. Like, those TVs already, like, aren't the best, and that's just keeping it real with you, man. All right, so we've got Tim. What's going on? Tim Driver, what's happening? You said, very happy with my H9F for $900. I hear you, man. I didn't, dude, like, you guys are probably not going to believe me, but I really didn't expect this. Like, I just knew it was going to be business as usual, right? Like, usually I get a TV in, I'm like, all right, they did good here, they downgraded there, all right, whatever. And I see what they did and what they didn't do. But the Hisense just came out, and like, I'm like floored by the performance of this thing. It at first struck me as like the wrong TV. I thought, like, okay, maybe this is like secretly like low-key a Samsung, or, you know, because like how bright and vivid the colors were, and I was like, I don't know, I don't understand this. But it actually wasn't a Samsung. So then I was like, wait, we actually might have something here, because I saw they had the gamma calibration area, and that's when I knew, like, I found a really legit TV. Like, that's when I was like, all right, this is serious. So most definitely dope. We've got I'm gonna mess your name up. Panagodis. I hope I said your name right. You said you have a 6 Series TV. You said you love it. It definitely. You said, wait. You said I love it. I love it, and you said I definitely buy an 8 Series when it goes down in price, but I'm gonna wait until 12-bit color comes out. Yeah, 12-bit is like the real major advancement I think we are all waiting for. That's gonna take advantage of PS5, Xbox Anaconda, or whatever they end up calling it, and all the newer media, really. That 12-bit color is the key, because that's real Dolby Vision. This stuff we have right now is filler stuff. It's just letting you read the metadata and giving you some adjustments, but it's not giving you true access to 12-bit color. And once you see 12-bit color, then all the stuff that they're hyping up right now will just kind of be like next year's like 3D. You know what I mean? Like, 1 minute it's hot, then it's just like, what happened? Though, truth be told, I actually really like 3D. I think it's really dope. Massive shout out to David Gonzalez. Thanks for stopping by, and your donation of $4.99. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you, truly. You said a little something to help your channel. You said that H9F you posted an hour ago made me realize that budget TVs are coming up. They really are, and I'm more interested to see what TCL 6 Series is like, because I think that's the most comparable to the Hisense H9F. And if TCL does something great and they actually improve upon their motion and upscaling capabilities and quality control, most definitely, then we might have ourselves a nice fight here. And I'm just gonna say, like, bro, David, they've got like all the main brands like Sony, Samsung, and LG beat this year. The H9F just beat like so many TVs, and I think that's important to talk about, because I mean, that's never heard of before. Like, I've never seen anything like that. So I think that's really cool, where you have budget brands actually competing at this level, for sure. We've got a lot of questions coming in. Hold on, my chat just went out and went weird, so give me a second here. We've got Paul, what's happening? You said, yeah, nothing around here in Buffalo. Yeah, I know the H9F is really hard to find. We've got Carlos. You said yours was an E8 too, right? Yes, mine was an E8. I was very happy with my E8. I mean, I calibrated it up. I just knew my E8 was like hot shit too. Like, I was like, all right, I got it. Like, I did it. It's dope, cool, done. And it was better than most of the other OLEDs, especially the 2019 ones. And I was like, all right, fine, straight. But then Hisense comes along and it's like, oh, you think your OLED something? Get that out of my face. And it just like slaps it to the floor. So, I mean, like, seeing is believing. Like, my little cell phone video isn't going to do it justice. But I tell you right now, guys, when I say it delivered more than I expected, it really did. So much, like, my wife isn't into TVs. For those of you that can imagine, I'm a professional calibrator. I do this every day for work, right? And then I come home after a long day of work and I'm talking to my wife about this stuff, right? And all in her ear about like TV, right? Like even on the channel, I talk about that all the day long, 24 hours a day, right? Imagine how sick she is. Even my wife, who hates TVs, said, you know what, the Hisense is beautiful. I absolutely love this TV. And it shocked me because she hates TVs more than me. Like, honestly, she's over it. And like that for me was like when I was like, yeah, this thing is legit. If it made like the hardest person to impress look at it and say, wow, this is great, this is a keeper. So yeah, that's ultimately why I even am going through a replacement instead of a return, because it really is good. And the family likes it, so that's what's up. Four-door C, what's going on, man? We've got Donnie. You said TCL QLED 6 series. Anybody excited about it? Good question. Who out there is excited for TCL? Just put like hashtag excited if you're excited for that. We've got Michael. I hope I said that right. You said much help on your big shout out to Michael Houghton for your donation of $24.99. You said that's what I meant to send the first time. Super chatting. Thanks again. I really appreciate it, man. It does go a long way in helping us out. So thank you for all you guys that are supporting the channel. This is just going to go towards our next review so that we can do so much more. Again, awesome videos like you guys request. So really, thank you guys. You guys are really showing up for the channel tonight. So I really appreciate it. We've got more chats coming in now. I want to go back to where I was here. Give me a second here. We've got... Hold on. I'm almost back to where I was. Okay, so we've got Michael Houghton. You said much help on your advice and expertise. I recently made my happy purchase of an X900E before it's no longer available. Is excellent. Yeah, still to this day, just for anybody that's wondering, the Sony X900E is one of the best TVs I've ever seen from Motion, so I'm really happy about it, man. Most definitely. Matthias, what's happening, man? You said, how are you? I'm doing good these days, though, to be very honest with you. I'm running this live stream on kind of like bed rest, like in a setup, because my nerve is acting up, so I'm actually pretty stationary. But overall, I'm doing pretty good, so I thank you for checking. You guys that have been asking throughout the week. Thank you. You guys are really supportive. I really appreciate that. Cyril, what's happening? You said, any recommendations on a 65-inch TV with great local dimming around $1,200 max? Hisense H9F. Every day of the week. I'm just going to tell you what I recently did, because like I had the P-Series Quantum, and it's a great TV for black levels if all you care about is black levels. But the problem is, like, when you move off angle, like even like a few inches, like 1 or 2 inches in the other direction, like the viewing angles get really bad really quickly, and I just can't go for that. So I wouldn't recommend that for you, but I would definitely say check out the H9F. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to find, but if you could find it, like, damn, it's a really good TV, most definitely. We've got Tommy Diver. You said got mine at Best Buy on Long Island. That's what's up. Big Cloud Gaming, what's going on, man? Thanks for dropping by. What's up, man? We've got Four Door C. You said, does anybody have does anybody H9F have dark corners? I have no dark corners, but if anybody has dark corners, I'd love to hear it. I see Tim Diver down below says no dark corners on mine. I think it's more of a panel lottery thing, so you're just going to have to roll the dice if you get those dark corners. As I'm looking at my TV right now, I'm looking in the corners. I've got nothing. Absolutely. It's just a clean TV. I mean, it really is, man. But Four Door C, you said you have the 55-inch, though, so that's different. So I don't actually know about the 55-inch because I have the 65, so maybe that might be something that they did there. I can't actually say. You said you also ordered the 55-inch. When it comes in on Tuesday, you'll let us know. Yeah, Drifter, let us know how that goes, because I'm sure a lot of us are curious as to how the performance is. We've got Tim Driver, what's going on? You said Four Door C, do you have dark corners? So yeah, we would definitely love to see if anyone else out there has dark corners. What's going on? Panagodius, I really hope I'm saying your name right. You said, not to get political, but do you think the tariffs will affect TCL and Hisense if they get too popular? I don't really think that's a political question, more so of like an economical question. Like there's an actual legitimate concern around like pricing going up with, you know, international companies. China, I think, yeah, the prices could actually, because they are Chinese brands, right? So these budget brands might not actually be budget for much longer, depending on how things go. But truthfully speaking, it's only a possibility. Like maybe they can go up, but so far we haven't seen anything. And honestly, to be very real with you, I don't foresee the United States losing in any kind of financial gratuity. We are one of the largest markets in the world, so I really don't think that the idea would be to drive customers away by not pricing things aggressively. So I think we'll all be fine on that front. I know a lot of people are afraid with, like, you know, PlayStation being $1,000 and whatever the case may be. It's not gonna happen. They wouldn't sell any in the States, which would be a massive blow to their overall projected numbers. So I think it'll be fine. I really do. I don't think you have anything to worry about. We've got Donnie. What's going on? You said love the content, Quantum. New to the channel. Well, welcome, Donnie, and everybody, if you can, just welcome Donnie to the community. I appreciate it if you guys would do that for him. And we have Donnie saying that, but I've watched a lot of your I've watched a lot of your videos. I really like what you're doing. Hey, whether you're new or old, I welcome you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate all community members, man. So thank you for being here, coming out, and showing the love today. I really appreciate that. Carlos, what's happening, man? You said quality control is big for TCL. You said shouldn't have to deal with panel lottery. Yeah, you really shouldn't have to deal with these panel lottery issues, but we have a lot of them these days. Tim Diver, what's happening? You said I was worried about it, but I haven't noticed it so far. I've had it hooked up for 2 hours. We've got 4-door C. You said maybe 2 inches of darkness in each corner. And yeah, it's always good to return products that maybe aren't up to par, so most definitely. And I gotta say, man, it's just like, it's one of those things where quality control can either be really good or really bad, and there is kind of like no in between, right? And that's kind of like where I sit with this stuff. It's like, I don't know if my next panel that I've got coming in, it's supposed to get here by Tuesday. I don't really know if that's going to be better or if it actually looks worse. So I'll let you guys know what ends up happening. But ultimately, I do got a little setup for you guys if you guys have the H9F and you guys are curious about like getting better picture quality. If you have, like, let's say you have a little more blooming than you would like, I do have some techniques that I can show you guys to kind of get away from that and get better darkroom performance. Because right now I'm actually, as I do the live stream, I'm even looking around and testing out to see like how everything works out, you know what I mean? And so far so good. Like it really does look good, and it's holding up these settings. I've watched TV shows with it, and I'm playing now some PlayStation. I've tried it on Xbox. So far, all around, it's a pretty solid setting that I've just created here. And this is after their latest update, so I don't really know if it'll work for the new TV that I'm going to get that will not be updated, but I'll definitely let you guys know. Alright, so we've got Timothy. You said Q, will you look after, you said we'll look after you, Donnie. He talks straight. And you said hey Tim, I love when you guys like show the love in the community and you guys are like supporting one another and helping each other out. Like, that's really dope. I tell you, we really do have a great community, man. We're just like a bunch of chill guys and gals in the community just hanging out, so I really appreciate that. And for anyone that's coming on now, if you guys have any questions or you guys want to like maybe debate the TCL, thinking maybe it's better, you know, just throw me some reasons why it might be better or worse, and we can just kind of look at both sides of that argument and start a dialogue around that. As I just kind of cut my way through hordes of monsters and Sword Art Online. And out of curiosity, I mean, do any of you guys out there like Sword Art Online? I recently watched one movie. It was Ordinal Scale, and I gotta tell you guys, one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen, and I saw it on the Hisense. Like, holy cow, like, all the highlights, bro. Like, that last boss fight had me, like, after, like, legit, after that movie was over, I was like, I'm buying this movie. Unfortunately, I can only buy it either from PlayStation on the PSN and get it digital, or I can buy it from Crunchyroll and get it, like, a physical copy. But they are, like, gonna charge me, like, 50 bucks for it, so I'll probably end up paying 50 bucks, pay the markup, and just get the physical copy, because I really like physical media, but still, though, something to know. We've got Donnie. You said, I believe in the videos have been very informative, learned a lot. Glad I came across your channel. I really appreciate that, man. And we've got 4-door C, not a fan of SAO. You said, I've seen only the first season, though. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just instantly fell in love with the series because, like, once I got into the dialogue and all that, it just kind of got to a point where it was like, I just got the story. I don't know. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was stupid because I thought, like, you know, talking about an online video game or whatever, but, like, come on, like, a game, like, that you have to, it's like kind of like the Hunger Games and the Purge mixed together. Like, you know, this crazy developer is, like, killing everybody in the game for whatever reason, and if you die in the game, you die in real life, so you better try to stay alive. Like, oh my god, I was all over it. Like, so dope. Even my wife, who hates anime, like, most anime that I like, I mean, still was able to find some happiness with this show and be like, yeah, it's pretty dope. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe give it a second glance, because it's pretty good, man. Did you watch it in Japanese, or did you watch it in English? Because maybe that might have some impact as well. We've got David S. Class. You said, how inferior is upscaling on the H9F? Also, what is special about Mini LED? The upscaling is definitely inferior on the H9F when you look at TVs like the Sony X950G. This TV will get destroyed in upscaling older content for sure, because it's a little softer by comparison. You're going to have issues where, you know, you're just always wanting for more depth and dimensionality if you were to compare it to a Sony, because Sony just has kind of like that 3D feel. Now, you can always hire a professional calibrator and calibrate gamma to give you more dimensionality, but honestly, not everybody is going to do that, so that might be a little bit more tricky, to be very honest with you. But as far as like being inferior with upscaling, it only pertains to lower resolutions. When you get up to the higher stuff, like that stuff is like on point. 1080p looks excellent. 4K, spectacular. Like you really, honestly, you don't have any issues with the higher resolution. So I think it's more so just their older stuff. But that's kind of where that sits. Now, with Mini LED, the special thing about Mini LED is that you can put a bunch of little tiny LEDs in one generalized location. So let's say, for example, I'm going to fly up into the sky here. Okay, so let's say Kirito right here, right? Just Kirito as an object. Let's say he was on a black background. All you would have to illuminate typically is like bigger LED lights, which lead to inconsistencies, uniformity issues that we don't want. Well, if you have little mini LEDs, you can cluster tighter around his body, even though it's relatively small, to the big area of the screen, and that would be able to give you significantly better control over contrast. So it's not necessarily just a black level benefit like a lot of people think, but you'd also get contrast out of it as well. So it does have its benefits, but also at the same point in time, I worry about, like, you know, the pricing of these things, making sure it's not being manipulated and abused in a way that's unnecessary because it's new, and of course there's always this, like, I guess, markup that's associated with newer things, even if cost isn't necessarily there. I mean, because to be honest with you, LEDs are very cheap to produce, and so you can only imagine when TCL manufactures their own LEDs, they're making money hand over fist for these TVs. What's going on, Flex? You said, I love the channel, searching for a new TV, keep it real. I appreciate you again showing the love and stopping by, and I hope your TV search goes well. Donnie says, I recently bought the Hisense H8. You said, I'm already ready to upgrade. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You gotta make sure you get quantum dots and over 1,000 nits of peak brightness to stay happy, because that's just kind of the way content is made these days. We've got Four-Door C. You said, sub over dub all day. Yeah, I kind of am with you on that. It just depends on the anime. Like My Hero Academia, there's no way I'm watching that in Japanese, man. That is just my thing. Big shout out to Carlos Norigria. I really hope I'm saying your name right. Norega. I hope I said your name right. I really do, man. I appreciate you hooking me up with $2 on the donation side of things to help the channel out. I really appreciate it. And I see this really cool one-up little emoji. I think that is really, really cool. So I thank you for that. What's going on? Timothy, you said, this is none of my business, but I'm curious. Have you had TV brands reach out to you to plug their TVs? I have not had TV brands reach out to me, no. I've had HDMI cable companies, I've had Bluetooth, headphones, graphics cards, optical, fiber optic HDMI cables. So yeah, I've had people reach out to me to plug stuff, but I tell them the same thing every time. My channel's not for sale, my audience is not for sale. I don't mind like buying the product and giving you an honest review kind of thing, but I'm not going to just blatantly influence people, whether it's a good product or not. And that's the problem with YouTube influencers. They just completely influence regardless of if it's a good product or not, because they're paid to. And so no, I don't do that kind of stuff. No. But yeah, I mean, if you don't feel like that's none of your business. I think if I'm in the business of giving you information and I'm supposedly being honest about it like I am, then obviously you should know what I'm doing. And yeah, no, I don't do any of that stuff, man. All right, so we're gonna answer some more questions. We've got Timothy 1, you said no dub over sub. Can't watch my favorite Dragon Ball Super, and I have English while I'm watching it. Ah, I get you. Yeah, I hate the Japanese voice for Goku. Way too whiny for me. Like I always grew, of course, like most people, like I grew up around the Japanese version as well, and like I don't know, I really didn't like it at all. Like that was not my thing. Bro, just like a funny thing, when I was younger, man, I had like, you know, I call it poor man's TV because it's like just like over the air, and on Telemundo they always used to have Dragon Ball Z, and I still remember watching it like as a little kid, and I always thought it was the funniest thing because they would call it Dragon Ball Zeta, and it was the funniest thing because like that's how the narrator would narrate it. It was just like the most hilarious thing. It was like, because it's like different for me. Like I'm used to hearing Goku on Toonami and things like that, but like, you know, I didn't have cable at the time, and I was just like, I'll take what I can get, and yeah, so I get you completely. What's going on, Carlos? You said for movie watching and the H9F, do black bars change to different sets of gray? No, black bars remain inky and black. You don't have any issues whatsoever with the black bars. You said, or does it do a good job? Yeah, it does a great job of keeping everything black, man. It's a really uniform display. What's going on, Catch? How am I doing? I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. What's going on, Donnie? I have a 55-inch UB8500 LG 3D Smart 2014. You said I want to upgrade and let my niece have it. You said it's still taken, but I want something to take full advantage of my Xbox One X. My recommendation is to check out the new TCL 6 series or the Hisense H9F, because, I mean, really, I'm really digging my H9F. Doing this live stream, just playing Sword Art Online, and I'm telling you, I'm having a ball right now. It's absolutely incredible. Super duper dope. We got Safiro. You said, hey, just got the Q8DN, happy with it. That's what's going on, man. Thanks for letting me know. You said bang for buck. Flex, you said Sony X950, is it worth it? I mean, it depends on the price point. Like, how much are they asking for? Because, I mean, like, if they're talking about, hey, you're going to pay us top dollar, then no, it's definitely not worth it. I think, realistically, be very real with you, maybe $999, that's the price point I would evaluate the 950G at, because it's got blooming, and, I mean, in this day and age, for $599, you can get yourself inky deep black. You don't have to settle for that, and you can get quantum dot. So, I mean, gone are the days of having to settle for the crap the big brands want to push on you. You can now get yourself a good TV and not even have to break $1,000. I mean, look at me. I'm here with my Hisense H9F, and I don't know if you saw my recent video, but it just slayed the hell out of the Q90R, a flagship TV, and it just destroyed it. So, yeah, man, it just depends on what they're offering. I mean, I would say in a general term, yeah, I mean, they have a good offering when it comes to local dimming and things like that. But when it comes to overall performance of, like, I guess, darkroom scenes and, like, those really challenging logos in video games, I would say no, it's not worth it. So it really depends on how you're using it and how much they're trying to charge you for it. Ultimately, that would be the deciding factor. Massive shout out to Four Door C for your donation of $10. As you know, it goes a long way. You said check out Demon Slayer, Kimisu no Yiba. We'll try to check it out. I haven't really gotten into Demon Slayer or anything like that. I'm still actually, believe it or not, trying to finish Sword Art Online. I just started their new arc. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest with you. I forget the names of these anime shows. But yeah, no, I'll definitely try to give that a gander. I tried to do Kill La Kill, but Kill La Kill was a little too risque for me. I couldn't really deal with the nudity was a bit much, so I was like, nah, I'm not with that. You know, especially because like the Japanese culture is a little weird and suspect with how they dress these schoolgirls up that are clearly 15 years old and, like, you know, lingerie and things like that. Not my thing, like, at all. At all. So yeah, I mean, I can't be doing that, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'll definitely give it a gander. Big shout out to Four Door C again for hooking up the channel, so I appreciate it. We've got Carlos. You said thanks again, anytime, man. We've got Sefiro. You said yes. Voice of Japanese Goku style, no good. I hear you. We've got I'm gonna mess this up. Ricarudo. What's happening? You said Sefiro dubbing never gonna be better than the original voices. I know Goku's voice is weird, but the same. I don't know, man. It's hard because it's like I want to get into Japanese Dragon Ball Z, but it's not happening, man. The voices are just too iconic. I mean, I guess for me it's because I have over 15 years of love invested in the English actors like Christopher Sabat. Like, come on, Vegeta's voice, how could you not? Like, I don't know, man. I don't get that moved when we're talking about, you know, English voice actors for some animes. Now, for movies like One Piece and shows like One Piece, like, dude, I cannot do the English One Piece at all. Like, every time Japanese. I mean, cause like they kill it when they're just like gum gum. I'm like, no, it's not gum gum, it's gamu gamu no. Okay, like everybody knows, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just get so like, so it's weird. It's one of those things. It depends, but it's kind of like a bittersweet. I kind of see you on that one, but sometimes, but not with the Dragon Ball Z. We've got Sefiro. You also said Quantum. Do you have settings for the Q8DN on the newest firmware for gaming, single-player games and stuff like that? I actually don't. I don't update my Q8FN. I'm still on 1251, for those who are wondering. I refuse to update. I know that the updates are bad. I know that they are blooming the TVs out more than they were with local dimming. I heard colors are muted, backlight flickering. I mean, all kinds of problems of rebooting. I don't want any part of that, so I just stay offline, man. Jackknife1, what's going on? You said, I only have Samsung 4K JU 6850 inch, and it has a great picture, and it does have HDR as well. Thinking of upgrading, no. I mean, what are you thinking of upgrading to? And Sefiro says, cause for example, if I put judder reduction on 1 or anything, I get heavy banding. I don't know exactly what that was in regards to be honest with you, so just kind of get with me and let me know what that was in regards to. Not sure yet. Well, there's a lot of good stuff out there. You just gotta know like where to look, I guess. Like, it's not always Samsung, Sony, or LG. I'm not gonna lie though, I laugh a little bit because I see like the new promotions on like YouTube for Best Buy when they do like their ads and stuff, and they got this new ad running where they're just like, it's the funniest thing to me. They say, you're looking for a monstrous TV? Well, have you checked out our new OLEDs? They're now 77 inches. Is that monstrous enough for you? And I'm just like, oh my god, you did not. That's so corny and cheesy. Like, just stop. But like, there's a big push for OLED because, I mean, it's expensive and there's not really a need to do it anymore. And like, for most of you guys that are like me, like, most of us like to shop on a budget, and I don't know about you, but like, I really love feeling like that experience. It's almost like a high, if you will, of like finding a good deal, like, and knowing you just saved yourself all this money you don't have to spend. You feel so accomplished. Like, you feel like, yeah, that's right, I make good life decisions, I'm not stupid with my money, right? Like, and you have more to spare and spend in other places. So of course a good deal is always what I look for. And I think, like, for me personally, the H9F is like my go-to recommendation for like a budget TV, because they also got a 55-inch that's $599. I mean, like, are they serious right now? Like, this thing is a monster for the price. I mean, really, you're not gonna find better. You really aren't. Like, it's crazy. Especially because, like, they have, like, gamma calibration, color management. They've got white balance adjustments on a 2 and 20% level, like, I mean, or 2 and 20 point level. I mean, like, they really do a good job with giving you all of the premium stuff without any of the price tag, I guess, nonsense that you don't want to deal with. So, I mean, that would be my thing. I mean, I love my Q8FN too, though, but I just don't know what's going on with Samsung with these patches, so I can't really safely say that I would recommend them to everybody. It really just depends. So, what's going on, Jackknife? You said, oh, sorry, you said, always seem to be drawn to Samsung, though. I hear you. Safiro, you said, red dot banding all over the place. Yikes, that's no good. Like when displaying numerous sites when I look 360. But yeah, that's not good at all, man. Have you tried talking to Samsung to see like what they could do for you? Or are they just kind of like giving you the cold shoulder, like, nah, there's nothing I'm gonna do for you? I gotta tell you, man, this game is like ridiculous amounts of fun, and I love like when you cut the characters, you get this like red line on them like in the anime, and then they burst and shatter into pieces. Like, oh, the coolest thing. I've heard a lot of people talking about Hollow Realization, and they were saying like that was one of the better games. I absolutely hated it. It was a Microsoft PowerPoint. So much text. I was like over it the moment I got it. Just got it yesterday, got a call tomorrow. Yeah, that's really unfortunate, man. That sucks. Why not just try to exchange it, no? That'd probably be easier than going through the manufacturer, because Samsung can be a pain in the ass to deal with. Jackknife1, you said, is backlit good because the TV I have now is backlit? I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with having a backlight. I mean, all backlit TVs are fine. I mean, do you mean, like, is it edge lit, or you mean, like, backlit, like, just, like, anything with that's not self-emissive? But it doesn't do it if I keep jitter on 0, yeah. I don't know, with stuff like that, I wouldn't take the chance. I really wouldn't take the chance with stuff like that. What is it trying to focus on? Ah, edge lit, yeah. Edge lit I'm not too fond of, simply because you can do so much better for like a budget price even. So it just kind of makes no sense nowadays to go for edge lit, because I mean, there's just no point. I mean, for $600 you can walk away a champion with one of the best TVs and picture qualities and quantum dots. I mean, really, stuff has really progressed these days. We've got Triforce Player 2, you said totally agreed about Hollow Realization. It was just too much, LOL. Yeah, man, it was like every 5 seconds they were like trying to give me a tutorial, and I'm like, can you just chill and let me maybe experience the game before doing all that to me? Because like, I can't handle all that reading in a short period of time when I just learned something new. It's really annoying. So yeah, it was too much. Though I'm actually looking into getting Axel World versus Sword Art Online. That game, oh my goodness. It's old and everything, but I don't care. It's new to me, you know what I mean? Because I just recently got into Sword Art Online, so like the games and stuff are super cheap now for me, so I'm like really happy about it. But I'm looking at getting it because like it's the only game that I know that you can kind of switch real time to multiple characters, so I was like, yes, I need this in my life. So yeah, most definitely looking to get that. Alright, so let's try to... And I love that this game lets you like fly in the sky and attack like these monsters. Like, I think that is just too cool. Like, I'm a super nerd for this kind of stuff. I think it's like so much fun. And then like this TV isn't doing it any disservice at all. It's just so beautiful that like you go through hordes of these characters just leveling up your character, and you're doing it with a smile on your face, you know what I mean? Alright. So we've got then I need backlit again. A backlit TV again. Yeah. And panel lottery is a real goddamn yeah, I guess so, man. I mean, like, for me, I can't wait for the day when the panel lottery thing is understood by retailers and they stop being such punks about it, right? Like, they, at the customer service office, or desk are always like, it's your fault no matter what. It's just ridiculous. I mean, to be very real with you, like, even when I had to do like a return, not a return, but to get my replacement for my H9F, Amazon was like really like nasty about it. They were just like, hey, do you have pictures you can show us? I was like, yeah, I could show you the pictures if you want to see pictures, sure. And then I go and I send the pictures, and then they like kind of pretend like they didn't get the pictures, you know, like, oh no, we didn't receive them. And then I like spam bombed her email with like 20 pictures, and I was like, did you get them now? You know, because like, I don't know what kind of like training they received to tell people whatever, but it's definitely anti-consumer and more towards obviously making more money. And I just think like when you have things that have uniformity issues or things that can have a defect from a patch or whatever, yeah, some things should be understandable. But that's just me though. So I want to thank you guys for stopping by tonight. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic. I won't be back on for another live stream until next week, so I really appreciate you guys coming out. For everyone who donated, it really means a lot. It helps us. It really does, as we again go forward to trying to do more reviews and things of that nature. There's no like big brother looking out for us. There's no like company sponsoring us. It's just us, right? So I appreciate all you guys helping us out. You know, we're independent and we stick together, so you guys know I'll give you the good information you're looking for. Much love to all of you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed and beautiful night. And until the next live stream, I'll see you guys later. And I'll read some of these last comments before I take off here. You said, good night, fellow humans. I love the humor in that one, so thanks, man. Ron B, you said thank you for your time. Thank you for yours, my friend. I appreciate you coming by and being a part of the Quantum Nation tonight, so I really appreciate that. Timothy 1, you said I've got so much more respect for you now, knowing you'd be completely straight with companies. Your integrity is more valuable than anything. Love Dragon Ball Z, was my childhood. Same here, man. And yeah, most definitely. Any company wants to try to sponsor me or hand me something for free, I really, honestly, am not interested in that, because I'm not going to have a conflict of interest when I give my reviews. That's just not my personality. I'm not a shill or sellout. So if I can give that back to you guys and at least put some honesty back out here when you're saving up this much money, I'm good with that. So thank you guys. You guys have a blessed and beautiful night. If you guys need me, just contact me in the comment section or on Facebook, and you guys know I'll do my best to get to you guys whenever I have some spare time or whenever I can. Thanks for watching, and until the next live stream, I will see you guys later.